Hi, I'm Sarah Westwood here with the Washington Examiner on Facebook Live. Today we got an interesting look inside the DNC's strategy to deal with some of the Hillary Clinton scandals. In particular, we saw that the DNC has devoted a lot of time and research looking into the vulnerabilities that are presented by the Clinton Foundation. It's something Hillary Clinton has written off as a right-wing smear, but clearly, according to these documents that a hacker has supposedly leaked after infiltrating the DNC server, it's clear that campaign operatives were worried about the effect that these Clinton Foundation attacks would have. For example, we saw in one of these records that the Clinton campaign was concerned about the effect of donations from the Saudis to the Clinton Foundation. And in fact, DNC operatives weren't even aware of the extent to which the Saudis funded some of Clinton's activities. We don't know much about the hacker who accessed these documents. We know he or she calls themselves Guccifer 2.0. That's a nod to the Romanian hacker Marcel Lazar, who called himself Guccifer, who was supposedly the first hacker to access Hillary Clinton's private server, you know, the one she kept in her basement in Chappaqua, New York, and the one that's caused so much trouble for her campaign so far. The first Guccifer is actually here in Virginia being held for accessing not just Hillary Clinton's inbox, but the inbox of several famous politicians, including the Bushes. All we know is that Guccifer 2.0 is taking credit for this DNC hack that the U.S. government has attempted to blame on the Russians. The Kremlin has denied any involvement. Now, the DNC has not yet verified the authenticity of these documents that we were able to see today. They haven't denied the hack either. And now we are given sort of an inside look at the steps that the DNC has taken to protect Clinton from many of her negatives, and she comes with a lot of baggage from her decades in political life. We see, for example, a dossier on attacks that have been levied against members of her family, that Bill Clinton has been hit so far for his ties to some shady corporations, for his past sexual indiscretions, and that Chelsea Clinton has been criticized for her inability to answer questions about the Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation is far and away what the DNC seems to be most concerned about, at least according to this batch of documents. They're not only looking at what kind of donations that were received and who gave them, but when they were rolling into the Clinton Foundation. It's obviously a problem and presents Clinton with a conflict of interest if some of these donations from foreign entities were coming in while she was serving as Secretary of State. You may remember in May of last year, a book called Clinton Cash was published, and much fanfare, and that presented the Clinton campaign with a lot of problems because it alleged a quid pro quo situation with Clinton Foundation donors and Hillary Clinton's State Department. Well, according to these batch of documents that Guccifer 2.0 released, we now see that the DNC prepared extensively for the release of this book, that they had gone through all of the attacks that this Clinton Cash book was going to levy. For instance, that Bill Clinton facilitated the purchase of a mine in Kazakhstan for one of the top donors. The DNC had compiled these attacks and prepared responses for them, not just for Hillary Clinton, but for surrogates that were going to go on TV and defend Hillary Clinton. Now, they were going to be prepared with talking points about how to dismiss this as a vast right-wing conspiracy, as Clinton is fond of saying. So we don't know exactly what's more to come from Guccifer 2.0. Supposedly, there are hackers that have accessed Hillary Clinton's private emails and have passed them on to Julian Assange of WikiLeaks. Supposedly, they are emails that prove Hillary Clinton mishandled classified information. We don't know whether that is the case. We do know that this leak could pose a lot of problems for the Democratic National Committee because it lays bare the strategy they had hoped to deploy in Hillary Clinton's defense. It remains to be seen how they're going to compensate for that now that Republicans have the Hillary Clinton scandals playbook directly from the Democrats.